Okay. Now, the types of audit exercise we have, just like I told you, audit is usually a routine exercise, a routine work. Do you understand? It's usually a routine work. Now, so routine, we can have a routine sector audit, and this audit covers companies that are operating in a specific sector. This one is when they want to, when they want to ensure a particular sector, or just wake up one day. So let's go to manufacturing sector and audit them. Let's check that. So that one is specifically to a sector, routine sector. And it's nothing simple. It's nothing too difficult. Routine, when we say something is routine, like it is normal for us to do it. It could be once yearly, it could be yearly, it could be monthly, it could be daily. If it is routine, it is routine, right? So this one covers the routine sector covers a specific routine. It could be the banking sector, construction, oil servicing, shipping, manufacturing, business process outsourcing, transport, anything. It can cover any of this. And the objective is primarily to ascertain and assess the overall compliance level in the industry. Do you understand? So that's it. Hello?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay.
No, everybody is quiet.
Okay. So that's the first one. Now, the next one we have is zonal audit. Now, this zonal audit is conducted on all the companies in a particular zone, right? All the companies in a particular zone. So that's it. Now, for instance, now we can have a new zonal chairman in FIRS. And the new zonal chairman will just check, bring all the documents, all the taxpayers' files with you. And then we just start to, yeah, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Don't forget, we have a way of selecting companies to be audited. We have a way. It could be a way of, for instance, those who are asking for a refund. And those who are asking for a refund, because they're asking for a refund, please subject them to audit. And that's one thing about tax. If you're asking for a refund from tax authority, your account must be audited. So it could be any way, right? So that zone now, regardless of the industry in that zone, insofar you are within that zone, then they can subject you to tax. It is the chairman of that zone that usually makes that decision. Now we can have a special purpose audit, which could be apart from the routine audit. Sometimes management itself can direct the tax audit department or unit to carry out an audit to achieve a specific purpose. I want to see that company that will ask their management, and I'll ask their tax authority, please come and audit my company. Is that really possible? Can you really call a tax authority to come and audit your company? So yeah, they can do it, but in actual sense, for all reasonableness in Nigeria, as a Nigerian, it is not possible. I'm not talking of other same countries, oh, but in Nigeria, well, it's in our book, sha. So whereby they can carry it out. You can call on the tax authority to audit your tax department, to audit your account for a specific purpose. It could be that you're suspecting that the person in charge of your tax payment is not paying the tax. Probably is collecting money from the company but not paying the tax. And you ask for receipt. Where's the receipt of the pay you paid last month? Eh, the receipts. When I went to FCTIRS, they don't have okay, they don't have network. Or they said I should come back for receipts. Do you understand? So when you suspect someone who is in charge of your tax computations and tax payments, then you can go to tax authority. Tax, please, how much have we paid on payee this year because you suspect that person? So that's a special purpose audit. Now, it can come up in instances of verifying taxpayers' claim for refund. Uh-huh. Do you understand? So management of tax management, so management of tax authority can also audit, can also send that information that go and audit this company. Whenever you want to claim a refund, I mentioned it before. I told you that a special audit, a special audit will also come up when you want to claim a refund. They will subject you to tax audit. Sometimes they will subject you to back duty investigation. And when there's a dispute between you, the taxpayer, and the tax office on specific issues, they can order investigation. So when you see that special purpose audit, it could be in form of an investigation. And when you have suspected cases of, madam, you were asking earlier,
Yes, please.
use of special audits. These are the cases, and I'm sure I mentioned almost all of these suspected cases of tax evasion. When you want to audit your VAT, it could be for management directives as well. So these are the reasons we have. All right. Now, now we have technical procedures in tax audits, right? Uh, so for technical procedures, we have the first thing is that you allocate audit cases. Now, technical procedures will now refer to the process of carrying out tax audits. Okay. Now, when the process of carrying out tax audits. Now, what are these processes? Before you can carry out a tax audit, you must plan, you must organize, and then execute all activities in that plan. So, what is the first thing to do? The first is that you allocate audit cases to officers. Okay, so you have to investigate this company, or you have to audit this company, you have to audit this, you have to audit this, right? Now, the criteria for allocating cases are mainly the level of competence of such officer. Now, this one is for internal use for tax office, all right? So for internal use, do you understand? So if tax authority wants to audit you, these are the things they must follow. They consider the officer, the competence of the officer, the urgency attached to that audit, and the technicality involved, and also the size of the company and other relevant factors. So before you can audit a company, you must be competent, of course. If you're not competent, they can't give it to you, right? You must be able to handle the size of the company. Not every company can be handled. For instance, now personally, there is a size I can handle, whether I like it or not, right? But I understand, let me say, 90% of anything tax for any company, except for a company I have not heard before, or for your tax liability, any company, and I mean any company, not just in Nigeria, even international laws, tax laws. I can audit any company in terms of tax. Do you understand now? Now it depends on the technicality before they can assign an audit assignment to you, right? Then also after assigning it, now if they've given you a case that okay, go to ABC Nigeria Limited to audit their account, tax audit. The first thing that will be done is that the chairman of that tax office, the head of that tax office, will send a letter to that company that is to be audited that I have appointed Kazim Razak Ayodeji to audit your account and his team members, which include uh, Ibrahim, Christy, and the rest of them. Do you understand? The tax office must send a letter. So, which means, personally, as a company, in my own office, a tax officer cannot just come to my office and say they want to audit me. Do I know you? No. They must come with a letter of introduction. That is the tax authority. That tax office must introduce them to my office before they can subject me, before they can conduct any tax audit on my account. Do you understand? So that is what we call the pre-audit visit activities. Do you understand? So now, after they've introduced them, they come down to the office, they get the company's assessment file. What are the taxes you have paid? What are the, do you have any receipts? We just have a verbal conversation. It is usually harmless from the beginning. It is when they now suspect mago, and that's it. So that's it. Now, then also where the taxpayer file is domiciled, they look at where the taxpayer file is to extract relevant information. Okay, so I am supposed to audit your account, but we don't have your account here. Our tax file is at Utaku or Gwagwalada or Lagos Island or Ikeja. Do you understand? Or challenge. You can give them anywhere. Definitely, you are giving them where your tax file is. If you have been paying tax, definitely you are registered. So where your tax file is where you are registered. Do you understand? And that's it. Now, after this, hmm, after the extraction of this information, a comprehensive file review would be done. All right. And then a report is written out. Your report is always in writing. There is nothing verbal in your report. Now, the report will show the background information they've obtained when coming to your office. The background information, the tax history, the relevant performance ratios they can calculate, and comment on tax queries raised by the area office if there was any. Do you understand? Tax queries, if there was any tax query, when they ask you a question, were you able to answer there? Do you understand? So that's it. Now, after all of this, after the tax, including tax queries, then if there's any potential audit risk, if you audit this company, we might not be able to get this and all of that. Do you understand? So they look at it. And also, uh, recommendations as to the outcome of the audit. This place, they've not really done any, they've not done anything. It's just a visit to your office. So usually it is like it is like a meeting between tax authority and the accounts department. If you have a tax consultant, your tax consultant should be in attendance. Do you understand? Now, after all of that, they can send circularization to your third parties for confirmation. For instance, your customers, your suppliers, they can send circularization to them to confirm that yes, they actually had this load of transaction. Let's say, for instance, you had a transaction of 3 billion naira with one of your suppliers, but you have recorded only, you have paid value withholding tax for those suppliers. You have paid withholding tax on only 1 billion naira. How much withholding tax did you pay? 1 billion naira. Okay, they send a circularization to that supplier. Supplier, this company said they have only transacted 1 billion naira with you guys. Please confirm. Don't forget, the supplier is the one that will enjoy the withholding tax. I don't know if I'm right. Am I right? Hmm?
Yes, you're right.
Who,
You're right.
who enjoys
Yes,
the
now.
withholding tax paid?
Supplier.
So now the
This is
supplier who is Higa, who has been asking you before that, where is my receipt? Where is my receipt? And all of a sudden, tax is sending them that you said 1 billion. Nibo, where is the remaining 2 billion? Supplier will voice out that no. Now that is a third party confirmation. So they can do that through circularization to confirm that that was actual transactions, volume of transactions you had with them. Now, after all of that, there will now be field audits, right? They will have scheduled the time with you. They can't start a field audit with you without giving you at least 2 weeks notice, or 2 or 3 weeks safe. They must notify you, and you can tell them they should not come. And that one shock you back. Tax authority can send a letter to you that they want to come and audit you. And you tell them that no, I'm not available. It shock you. Or you don't? Do you think you can do that? Do you think you can do that or not?
Just
You
hearing
can
the
do that.
Aha, okay. Now, whether you're just hearing it for the first time or you know before, yes, you can do that. I have done it before. In fact, the last audit they sent, the last audit letter they gave to me, I was very angry actually. The truth, the truth is that I was very angry when they gave me that letter. And what got me angry was that number one, they called me to come to their office that they have a letter for me. I knew, of course, when tax authority has a letter for you, it is not a letter of enjoyment, never. Not a letter of credit, never. It's definitely a query. Now, I use my leg waka, carry myself, go there. When we got there, they gave me this letter. And I realized that in that letter, they gave me the letter on Friday. And they were coming to audit me on Monday. Number one, I was very angry that it was a back duty investigation. Ordinarily, I know something is coming from them, but not a back duty investigation. Now, when I got the back duty investigation letter, and I was like, so you have a back duty investigation letter for me for the past 3 weeks, and you're just giving me today? That wasn't what got me angry. Oh. One of them now said, Oga, actually, well, you were supposed to come when the letter was ready, but you did not come. And my next question was, like, he was saying it loud. Have you been to tax office before? Have you been to tax office before? Has anyone been to tax office here before?
No.
no, sir.
Okay, now try to go to any tax office, visit them, see how they are. It's always like an open space. You don't see them, it's the only table that demarcates them, only table. Sometimes many of them share table. They go like a straight line as if you're in a cyber cafe. Now, one of them was now seeing it from one table, from one end, like that, not far end actually. And you are supposed to come for the letter, but I said, are you serious at all? Do you understand what you are saying at all? That was what I was asking him in the presence of his colleagues. Their boss was in his cubicle. Like, do you understand what you're asking? When I'm not a cow, it is only a ram or a cow that uses its 4 legs to go to where they kill it. And that was what, like, do you understand what you're even saying at all? So the one person was like, no, sorry. It's not like that. It's not actually, we're supposed to give you all this right, but we didn't have time. Now imagine I don't know my rights. You know, that's the way that guy would have rubbished me. That you are supposed to come, you did not come. And then it can even generate to, because you did not come, we are even supposed to penalize you. So immediately I said that, something came to them, something struck them that this guy knows what he's doing. Because that was my straight question, like, are you serious at all? Do you even know what you're saying? Then one guy too, they play in that office very well. One guy now said, we can negotiate it too. I was even on my way out, and I said, you want to negotiate? Now come outside, let's negotiate it. Please, don't say that, don't say that. Because in actual sense, they negotiate. But if you want to negotiate with me, come outside. And I bet you will pay me at the end. Because I won't pay you. I'm not even owing you in the first place. And then it was at that point I now checked the letter. I saw the letter and I said, so this letter is even on Monday, self. And you're just calling me today. Oga, I'm not available for this letter. They said, yes, we know you might not be available for it, but please put it into writing. Of course, I know I have to put it into writing. So they were coming the following, they gave me only 10 days notice. They gave me on a Friday. They were supposed to come the following, not the following Friday, the 2 Mondays later. They gave me on a Friday, then the Monday and the next Monday. That's like about 10 days. Immediately I got to the office. I got in with anger. I just told my boss, Oga, this is what they gave me. Immediately I just wrote the letter. Me too. I did not give them the letter that same Friday. No. The following week, I didn't give them until the Friday of the following week when they were preparing to come on Monday. So me too, I gave them the letter on Friday evening that I am not available for your meeting. And I gave them my reasons. Whether the reason was right or wrong, I shall know that I declined, that I am not available for the audit. Number one, the notice was too short. And if the notice is short, forget it. So that's enough reason for me. Do you understand, please? So you can actually tell them you are not available. Now, you are a taxpayer, which means you are a customer to tax authority. Don't let them bobo you. Anytime you go there, you have to be offered drinks if possible. Do you understand? So that's it. Now, for the field audit, now when you agree and they are coming for the field audit, they will come. The audit team will comprise of the officer and a team lead. They will visit your office, carry out the field examination of your company's record. They will ask for documents, right? If you are using an accounting software, they will ask for access to that software so that they can check, right? And of course, you give them a limited access to only those things they want to see. So you ask them to write a letter on what they want to see, or send an email so that you can give them access to those things only, right? And that's it. And the duration of the field work depends on the volume and complexity of the company's operations and also your level of cooperation, right? So that's it. Now, when they are done with their field audits, they'll call you for another reconciliation meeting after the field work. So in this meeting, they will give you the summary of their findings. Do you understand? Now, the summary of their findings is there. They will tell you, you or your tax consultant, but please, you as as a chartered accountant, if you still need a tax consultant after becoming a chartered accountant, you are wrong. Oh. This class has wasted. Oh. And that's it. Now, your tax consultant will be there, the company will be there, the audit team will also be there. All right. So they will tell you the summary of their audit findings to get your reaction. Are you okay with it? If you're not okay, you understand? Now, a date is then fixed for reconciliation after giving you the review. So they can fix it, can be on the phone self. Then you fix a date, you can have a roundtable reconciliatory meeting. Reconciliation will now review, they will tell you to review it will involve review of additional written representations, interviews, right? Now, they would have told you, they would have given you the notice of the meeting, and then the meeting will begin. The meeting and meetings will then begin until all contentious issues have been resolved. So you will discuss everything, all the issues from their findings. You discuss it, two of you will discuss it and agree. Once you agree, a final letter will be sent. Right? Now, once you agree, they send a letter detailing their own position on the unresolved issues and computation. If you have still unresolved issues, right? For instance, now you told them this is it. They told you, no, that is not it. Then they go back to do their own research. They do their computation. If they do not agree, they will tell you. If there's any additional tax that will be paid, they will tell you. They will send it to you. Now, they'll send the assessment. They can call it demand notice or notice of assessment. All right. Now, when they give you this notice of assessment, it can come in form of additional assessment. That is, you have to pay more tax than after those ones you had initially paid. You have to pay more tax. They can also give you a revised. Now, after having that discussion with them, and they told you, you discussed with them, and they realized that okay, their own assessment too was wrong in some parts. They will give you a revised assessment. All right. Now, this assessment to be done. Once the assessment is done by the assessment department, the collection department will be advised to pursue the collection. If they give you a revised assessment, now the revised assessment is not coming from the audit team. The audit team will send their findings after your discussion. They'll send it to the assessment department. The assessment department will assess you. After assessing you, they send a letter to you. Then the collection department will follow up. Now, when they send this letter to you, if you object it, if you object it, then your objection to that additional assessment could be raised immediately, but not more than, I think, 15 days, 2 weeks. Abi? So, the assessment, additional assessment could be raised either immediately after the letter of intent has been received by the taxpayer, or after the notice of additional assessment have been raised. In either case, they review the working paper or the file, all right, and then view with a view to ascertain the validity of your objection. When they send the letter to you and you are not okay with it, you raise your objection within 15 days. Now, when you raise your objection, they go back to their working paper and review it, or they review their document entirely. Sometimes they can come back again for another field audit. They can revisit your office to get more documents. All right? So which means they are not just, we don't give you, you must pay. No, who the hell are you to tell me to pay? Can you pay? Now, having confirmed that the position adopted by tax audit is right, if your letter of objection does not stand any ground, that is, they reconducted the audit and they realized that they were correct. If they conduct their audit and they realize that the tax audit was correct, you sent a notice of objection to them, having. Now they will send another notice to you, a notice of refusal to amend. That is, you see our initial assessment, we refuse to amend that assessment. Our assessment is correct. Do you understand? That is a notice of refusal to amend their own assessment. And if they realize that you are correct, then they will send an amendment, a new invoice to you, a new assessment to you. But if they are correct, they will tell you that no, we have refused to amend it. All right? Now, this case, when you keep dragging it like that, they resend it to their litigation department, their legal department. Every tax authority has a legal department. In fact, at this point, after your objection, any meeting they are holding it in their office, and their legal department must be in attendance. I've attended before. I've attended multiple. Enugu Tax Authority, FIRS in Enugu State, will never forget me. They will never forget me. 2022 to 2023, they will never forget me. And that's it. They will never forget me. Starting from May 2022 to June 2023, all of them, Mr. Anselm and the rest of them, Mr. Amadi, Mrs. Amadi, the two of even their tax consultants, because Enugu State is not using, they don't have tax backdating investigation. They don't have staff in that department. So what they do is that they make use of tax consultants. They take the service, right, of a tax consultant. So a tax consultant will do it on their behalf. See, tax consultant, tax authority, all of them. Me and the tax consultant, we became friends now. We became friends. So that's it. Now they can send it to their legal department, and the legal department will carry it on. Now, when at that reconciliation meeting, you guys now agreed, right? That is for the final report. Now, once all objections have been disposed, once after the reconciliation meeting, it can be multiple. This thing can take months, but not more than a year, because there's a time lapse for it. Not more than a year. Now, once you guys finally arrive at a particular amount, right? A final report will be sent to you. Now, the major element of the report will now include the background information of the company, the pre-audit, post-audit tax adequacy ratio, the audit work they have performed, their audit findings, the tax yield recommendations, and conclusion. So that is what will be in their final report. And that is it. Do you have any question? This is also like a process of backdating investigation. No? This is not just any case, you can see it's a technical procedure in tax audit. Tax audit is always routine. Tax audit is always routine. It's normal. They just tax audit, ordinary, normal tax audit is like a desk audit. They don't come to your office. But once it becomes a case whereby they are visiting your office, that one is tax investigation. Now we have something called audit program. A program is a schedule of work done, I mean, work expected to be done, sorry. Right? Schedule, your plan, program. There's a difference between a plan and a program. Before you get to it, it's a plan. But once you get to it, it becomes a program, right? So your audit program is a schedule of audit work that is expected to be performed on each item of accounts. So what they do is that you remember we said we have the tax audit team. Let me remove this slide.
Can someone hear me, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now you can hear me, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. Now, your audit program is, like I said, there will be an audit team that will be set up, right? An audit team will be set up. Now, that audit team, each of them is given a specific task, just like when auditors do. Normal company auditor, external auditor, when they come to your office, that's the same way they do it too, right? Now, work that is expected to be done by each personnel, each tax officer. All right, that's it. Now, this tax audit, this audit program will cover items of the account, such as the income. Who is auditing the income? The same person who audits income will never audit expenditure. Who is auditing income? Who is auditing expenditure? Who is auditing assets, liabilities, the non-current assets, the non-current liabilities? All right, yeah, they could do it separately. So that's it. Usually, one person does not do it, depending on the size of the team, actually. Now, the benefit of this audit program is to give details of the work of the team lead. Details of the work that the team lead requires individual members of the team to perform. Remember, I said it, that they share it to each and every one of the team members. So it shows, apart from that, it also shows how much work has been completed. Remember, I said it, that audit program is when you get to it, the audit program will work before and during the audit. The audit plan is what you do before you start audit at all, in terms of what resources do we need, how many staff do we need. That is your audit plan. Audit program is work itself. Are we there?
Yes, we are.
So that's it. Now, it also provides a record of audit responsibility by documenting the work done by each staff. So if you are the one who did this, then you are responsible for it. So it facilitates audit supervision and control. It ensures continuity in the audit work. In the case of when you change audit team, it ensures continuity so that you know that, okay, this person before me has done this and this one. It also allows the team leader to allocate staff in the most productive and efficient manner possible. And of course, it serves as time management tools. That's what we have. Now, tax investigation improper. Shall we proceed? Now, tax investigation, just like I said, right, is different from audit. And they are called for when there are problems in an organization that is either affecting the organization as a whole or a particular segment of the organization. Are we together, please?
Yes.
So that's it now. So that's for investigation. Now, the stages of investigation is similar to what we said earlier, whereby we have surveillance or pre-investigation activities, right? You can call it surveillance, call it pre-investigation activities. All right. Now, And this one is that you check, right? Cross-check every relevant document, physical verification of assets where necessary. That's just like a pre-investigation activity, just like we did earlier when they pre-visit your office before audit. All right, that's it. Then also, we now have the field investigation where they do the comprehensive examination. We have the assessment, which we have explained. After assessment, you send in your objection. And after the objection is looked at, they do the final investigation report, right? Just like the exact thing we said earlier. Now, we have the intelligence unit. Intelligence unit is crucial for gathering and analyzing information. So intelligence, what they do is just to gather information. Right? They gather information. Now, the information they have gathered, they are the one that will supply information to investigative department. It depends on however you want to use it. Now, let me, I don't want to bring us, okay, I think the best way I can still explain is from legal aspects. All right? I'm not a lawyer by profession, but I'm a law student. I study business and commercial law. Do you understand? So I understand some certain aspects of law. I also do forensic accounting. So which means, yes, law, presentation of evidence and all of that, yes. And I'm also allowed to go to court. Do you understand? Now, I think I can explain better with separating a lawyer from a forensic expert. Now, there are some people, when a lawyer has a case, you agree with me that most times it is not the lawyer that goes to obtain the information directly by himself. But let me use a prosecutor. Let me use a lawyer. Sometimes lawyers do it, but most times they have people who give them information. Most of the things you see lawyers do in the court, the information is not gotten by them. They don't have time to get all that evidence. Do you understand? That's why they make use of experts. For instance, if it is something related to economic and financial crimes now, a lawyer might not have in-depth knowledge. You understand law, but do you also understand how to get the evidence? There are some people that's what they do. We call them forensic experts. And that's what forensic expert, that's what we do. We gather evidence that can be admissible in the court of law. That is evidence that you can present, that a lawyer can present, and it will have a weight. And we are the only one. No, we are actually two. The second person is not alive. Only two of us can give a testimony, can present a testimony in the court of law, even when we were not there when that thing happened. Do you understand? We were not there when the thing happened, though. But we can give a testimony of how it happened. Only two of us can do it. The number one person who can do it is someone who is dying, a dying testimony. Someone who is dying and now says, okay, this one happens. Now, someone who heard when the person was saying it can give that testimony in court, and court will allow it. That's why I said the second person, no, we are the first person. The second person is not alive. The second person is that dying testimony. So we, experts can go to a crime scene and will tell you that this person, like a doctor can say that this person died of poison. Not just poison. After he was poisoned, then he was strangled to death. Or he was killed by a pillow. They seized his breath. Do you understand? A doctor can conduct autopsy to tell you that. And that's an expert. A forensic expert. Do you understand? So these people are intelligence units. They gather information. They analyze that information to support civil and criminal investigation. So forensic is like an intelligence unit. So the essence of what they do is to enhance the overall functioning of NRS for tax, so for this tax purpose. Do you understand? Eh?
Yes, sir.
Please, I hope I'm not talking too much. I'm not just wasting. I'm not just
We are
wasting my
with you, sir. We are following, sir.
No, sir. With you, sir.
Maybe I'm going off point though. Okay, so the intelligence unit are the ones that will gather information and analyze that information that will support civil and criminal investigation for NRS. Now it is now NRS, are we? Any changes for NRS? Now, the functions of the intelligence unit is to liaise with tax office. Of course, they obtain information on returns filed, right? Late returns and all of that. They obtain information. Do you understand? Are we there?
Yes, we are.
Okay. Now, also, they engage with banks and CAC to get information. Don't forget, to get information, to obtain information. So they get information from banks, from CAC, right? Like through regularization. They gather information from them at all times. For those people who are not filing their account. All right? Then they coordinate with government entities. They work with ministries, government parastatals to review contracts for consistency and returns filed by companies. So you have a contract, or you got a contract from Ministry of Finance. They go to that Ministry of Finance to get your information. You said that your transaction with Ministry of Finance was about 3 billion naira, and if you like, you'd had up to 20 billion. You go hear them. They'll go there to get your information because they are investigators. All right? Yes, that's it. Then they monitor media. They collect, review information from newspaper, magazines, journals. They apply their intelligence techniques to investigation. To investigate a business, a company, and their financial activities. All right? They conduct special enforcement program. They also conduct general intelligence collection. That is, they collect information. That's intelligence collection. And they refer cases for further action. They refer it to the civil department or criminal department. Please prosecute this person where necessary. They obtain information from third parties. They review financial statements of offshore companies. All right? So that's it. Now, the assessment they have. Assessment of the investigation or intelligence department. When we assess them, we look at their strengths. Now, their strength is their top management support. When they have a top management support, strong backing from top management, of course, they'll be very effective. When they have quality staff who can do the job, yes, like chartered accountants, forensic experts, lawyers, economists. Do you understand? Yes, they can do a better job. When they have enforcement power, that is when they give them power to act. Just like the power Buhari gave EFCC in 2015. Yes. Then also when we have a legal assistance, when we have the legal support of NRS, legal unit. Do you understand? So these are the things. Now, but their weakness, all these are their strengths. Their weakness is interference, political interference. Somebody will just come from the top. Hello, stop that investigation, and that's it. Also, when there is a judicial process abuse, when investigation is being hindered, probably the court of law just rendered all your efforts useless. That's a judicial process abuse. When there's a conflict between two units, that is between the tax audit section and civil investigation unit, tax audit is saying that no, this is for me to handle. Civil investigation unit is saying no, this is for me to handle. That's the problem, right? When there's a corporation issue, that is taxpayers are not giving them information they need. How do you expect me to do? You are auditing me, you are investigating me, and you are expecting cooperation. You will not get any cooperation from me. So that's it. Then when there is a funding constraint, they need to visit places and they don't have money. They don't have fuel in their car. When they depend on external bodies like Nigerian police and EFCC to do their job for them, that's a big problem. When you have infrastructure deficiencies as well, right? They are unable to, they don't have inadequate equipment, unstable power supply, they don't have motor vehicle to visit sites. These are weaknesses they have. Now, the list of required documents FIRS they ask you for tax audit and investigation, all those things you have in your head. Your audited financial statement, your management account, your chart of account, your trial balance, general ledger, your backup documents, audit journals, we've said audited financial statement, right? Audit journals, all your sales schedules, all your relevant schedules, sales purchases schedules, your withholding tax schedule, value-added tax schedules, all the schedules, right? Then your sales and purchase invoices. You said you sold, I mean, where is the invoice? Right? Payment vouchers, bank statements, petty cash book, your import and export documents, where you are into import and export, your fixed assets register for your capital allowance, I mean, your VAT file, VAT evidence, all the receipts of payment for VAT, withholding tax, capital gains tax, minutes of board meetings, your stock count, they can count your stock, right? Contract schedules and agreement with your contractors, with your contractees, your rent agreement, you paid rent, should not be withholding tax. Additional documents like your, what do we call it? Director's fees. They look at the director's fees to see where you have deducted withholding tax from it. All these things are there. All right. Now, for NRS, they will ask for some NRS. Sorry, that's my NRS is federal FIRS. And why am I saying NRS now? State Board of Internal Revenue, like FCTIRS, NIRS, which other one? Ogun State Internal Revenue Service, all the State Internal Revenue Service, right? State Board of Internal Revenue Service. Now, those ones, they will ask you for financial statement, of course, general ledger and trial balance. But don't forget, state focuses on pay. So they will ask you for your staff list. They will ask you for payroll, vehicle schedules, evidence of pension paid for your staff. Because pension will reduce your pay. Am I right, please? Pension reduces pay, I mean.
Yes, sir.
Let us confirm that you actually paid pension. Your evidence of payment, your payee record, employment contract. Yes, they will ask for staff employment contract. Yes. Payment vouchers, rent schedules, withholding tax, director's details. Yeah, director's details. Because FCTIRS is the one to receive. Who did pay director details to? Yeah, director details is personal income tax. So it is for FCTIRS and State Board of Internal Revenue. All right. Then, of course, we have business premises registration receipt, development levy, and every other document they can ask. So that's it. Now, we can have assessment procedures after tax audit or investigation. Assessment procedures for additional assessment or back duty investigation. Something will trigger them before they can come for back duty investigation. All right. Now, what are those things? When a tax authority finds a taxpayer was under-assessed compared to what he should have paid, yes, as a trigger. Are we together? So that's a trigger.
Yes.
Now, the basis will now be that they look at the differences between your original returns and the underlying records you have to check for fraud or negligence, underpayment. All right. Now, limitation of back duty investigation is 6 years. They can't go beyond 6 years, excluding the current year. All right. That's my first assignment as an accountant. Like my not as an accountant. I did one accounting work whereby that was where I learned how to use Sage 100. After that, I did that one for like 7 months. Now, when I started working as a proper accountant, as a group of financial accountants, after that 7 months, my first work as an accountant was for 7 months. After that, I was a group financial accountant. That is, I had a parent company and 2 subsidiaries. Yes. So my first assignment, 1 month after getting that job, was back duty investigation. It wasn't funny at all. So now, after that back duty investigation, which will not exceed 6 years, You can have objection. Okay, your objection must be written in 30 days, within 30 days, not 2 weeks, 30 days, 30 days. And you must state the ground for your objection, right? Your appeal as well. When you are appealing, you must appeal within 30 days of getting the notice from tax authority. Within 30 days, you must send in your appeal. All right, so that's it. Now, final and conclusive assessment. Now, once they give you an assessment and you have accepted it, whether there is back and forth, or you have argued and argued, insofar you both arrive at, okay, this is our tax liability. Okay, we have accepted. What you have accepted becomes a final and conclusive assessment. The condition is that if there is no appeal made, now, whether you agree or not, if you don't appeal within 30 days, then it becomes final. If you had agreement with them, it becomes final. If court decides, judicial decision, it becomes final. Those are the three final and conclusive assessments. Either you agree with tax authority, or you did not object within 30 days, or you have objected and they've taken it to court and court has decided, then it becomes final and conclusive assessment. Now, there is a power of distraint for non-payment of tax. If tax is not paid, tax authority can distrain your goods, your chattels, or land, can stop you from selling. They can enforce recovery through sale. They can sell off some things in your business to get their money, with provisions for assistance from police and proper handling of sale proceeds. They write to police office, to the police. They write to the police and then they sell some of your assets just to get their money. Don't want to pay with it. You go pay by fire by force. Now the provision is that they have authority to distrain, right? That is, provided that they have authority to do so, and the authority will come from court. And also, the items can be sold after 14 days if unpaid. If you don't pay, they can sell off your asset within 14 days. Now, no immovable property can be sold without a high court order. Immovable property, like your landed property, they can't sell it. Now, power of search and seizure, yes. There's authorization. No? Tax authority can authorize officers to seize your premises. They will close it for ground for suspected non-disclosure or irregularity. They will close your office. You will not sell anything. Are we together, please? You will not sell anything. Then officers can enter, search, and seize items required for tax assessment or evidence. Do you understand? So that's it. Now, the process is not just like that. There is a process. Number one, authorization must be in prescribed form. You must have that letter. That letter of authority to do so. Officers can enlist police assistance, right? And items seized may be kept and used as evidence in tax proceedings. Tax proceedings here means courts. Tax courts. Proceedings means courts. Right? Tax process. Tax court process. So that is it. When they are in court, they can use that document they have seized as evidence. So that is it. Now, we have the reference. This reference, you can get it from the Nigerian Tax Guide and Statutes of CITA. You can see it in NRS Tax Audit Manual. All of this is there. Do you understand? That's what you have. Any question from anyone? Any question? Now, within the next few minutes, I think I should be able to do this one under 15 minutes. And that's because we are all familiar with it. Yeah, we are all familiar with it. This is page 105. So I think we should be able to do it within 15 minutes. So I'll not go too deep into this. The reason is that we are familiar with it. Now, this professional ethics is the same professional ethics we have in ICANN. Do you understand? Aha. So it's the same rule of IESBA and IFAC. It's the same rule. And your fundamental principle of ethics of integrity, objectivity, professional competence, confidentiality, and professional behavior, they are all there. So I am not going into that. All right, please. Now, justification for appropriate legal action for non-compliance. What justifies that? If you don't comply with tax authority, they can take legal action against you. And the justification is that number one, enforcement power derived from ICANN Act. Now, when you, as a tax consultant, as an ICANN member, as an ICANN member, you refuse to comply, your company is not complying. Do you understand? Your company is not complying, and you, that you are supposed to represent tax authority, to be their tax guidance, you are also not complying. There's an enforcement act. There's an enforcement power from ICANN. ICANN has a power to prosecute you. Do you understand? ICANN has an authority to enforce ethical standards on you. The act provides the legal foundation for upholding ethical conduct among members. So if you are a member of CITN or you are a member of ICANN and you are still supporting tax evasion, then ICANN can prosecute you. CITN can prosecute you. Can I tell you one secret? I'm a member of CITN, okay? Now, CITN is stricter than ICANN when it comes to tax. Of course, that's what they do now, Abi. That's their primary work. CITN, they are very strict when it comes to tax. This one that in ICANN, you can decide that you're not paying your, what's it called, subscription, and you go to CITN. From day one, you cannot do anything. You can't do anything again. CITN is very strict, and that's it. All right? That's it. Now, there is accountants disciplinary tribunal in ICANN. ICANN has an act, and they have a tribunal, yes. This tribunal is responsible for adjudicating cases of non-compliance. It will take you to ICANN court, presided by the ICANN president himself. The last ICANN president that I know, at least I'm familiar with that one very well. You don't want to be in court with him. You don't want to be in court with him. You don't want to appear before him. So that's it. Now, importantly, the tribunal operates independently of the ICANN Council so that they can ensure impartiality in their proceedings. It's different from ICANN Council. That's it. Are we there?
Yes.
Now we have the investigating panel rule. Investigating panel role. Now, this investigating panel role is within ICANN as well. They play a crucial role in maintaining ethical standards by considering complaints. When someone complains of your action, if you defraud your company and your company reports you to ICANN, there's a panel. They'll set up a panel and investigate. All right? To ensure that unethical behavior is addressed systematically with due process. Then also we have accountability in partnership. When a complaint is made against a firm, an accounting firm, or a tax firm, and this tax firm has multiple partners, it is treated as if it were made against each partner individually. 5 of us, we decided to set up an accounting firm, and then someone reported our accounting firm. Each and every member will be treated separately, independently. You don't know anything. We also have consideration of non-compliance. When you fail to adhere to fundamental ethical guidelines of ICANN, and ICANN take it seriously, and failure are considered by the committee responsible for regulating the work. So they will scrutinize you and give you the appropriate judgment. You don't know anything. All right? So that's it. Are we there? Are we there?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's it. Now, we have legal and ethical issues in tax work. As a tax practitioner, there are some things you don't do, and there are some things you must do that is ethically required of you. Number one, you must maintain technical competence, right? The same thing in ICANN. You cannot take up a job you don't know how to do. That's number one. Number two, you must make reasonable inquiry. Ensure you have adequate information about your clients. KYC, know your clients, right? You do background research and everything of your clients. Then also, you need to be very careful because there is a thin line between tax avoidance and tax evasion. I think I have mentioned this thing before. Tax avoidance, is a legal thing, right? Hello? Tax avoidance is legal. Why tax evasion is
Yes, sir.
illegal?
Yes,
I
sir.
can tell you authoritatively that tax avoidance can also become illegal at some point. When we get to tax avoidance and tax evasion, we'll discuss it. Don't worry. All right? Now, you need to be very careful within the line when you are navigating between tax planning and tax avoidance. Now, tax planning is highly recommended. Tax avoidance can sometimes be discouraged. Sometimes. So quote me very well, you. Now, you need to navigate the fine line between legitimate tax, between legitimately minimizing tax and unethical tax avoidance. Did you see that? Unethical. It is legal, but unethical. We did not say that illegal tax avoidance because there is no illegal tax avoidance, but there can be unethical tax avoidance. And because it is unethical, at one point, at a certain point, it can become illegal. Oh, I don't think you understand what I'm saying. I don't think you guys understand me.
I understand you, sir.
Aha.
Yes, sir.
So that's it. Now, also, as a tax practitioner, you must maintain confidentiality. Your client information cannot go out. And also, ensure you manage your conflict of interest, your personal interest. Ensure you manage it well. If there's anything like conflict of interest, you disclose it to your client. So that is it. And failure to adhere to this, you can have penalties like fines, suspension, and expulsion. They will seize your ticket. They revoke your license. You can lose your license for it. So that's it. Now, we have safeguards against ethical threats, the same ones we have. Right? Now, you must be vigilant. All the safeguards we have, all the ethical threats we have, familiarity threats, self-review threats, what again, Gary? Advocacy threats, what again? Intimidation threats, self-interest threats, right? All those things. You must be careful, right? There are safeguards that are set up by audit firms or accounting firms. There are also safeguards that are set up by ICANN. So that is it. Now, there's something called NOCLA, non-compliance with laws and regulations, right? Now, if your client is into criminal activities, money laundering, terrorism financing, there is nothing like confidentiality. You must report them to the relevant tax authority. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
There's no confidentiality. If you see that your client is into money laundering, you must report them. That is NOCLA. The NOCLA framework says that non-compliance with laws and regulations. If any of your clients is not complying with laws and regulations, report them. This ensures that you, as an accountant, you act in the public interest while maintaining integrity of ICANN profession. Is it not chartered accountants that are still auditing them? So please don't let them come and take our ICANN license. So now, practical steps for addressing NOCLA. Number one, you need to understand the issue very well. Okay? Then also you address it with management. If it is something you can address with the management or those charged with governance, then communicate with external auditors as well. External auditors, is it that you don't see this thing? Is it that you don't know that your company is into this? Then consider further actions such as disclosing to authorities. That is law enforcement agency, whether EFCC or police or ICPC. No, ICPC is for public sector. Yeah. Of course, you can do for public sector too, right? Then also document all the actions you have taken. In case nothing is eventually done, you document what you have done. All right? So that is it. Document it so that they will not come and hold you responsible. Any question from anyone? I didn't even spend up to 10 minutes. Any question, please, from anyone? In the absence of questions, I leave you all with glad tidings. I came with glad tidings. I'm leaving with glad tidings. I'll see you all in our next class next week, Thursday. Good night, everyone.
Good night, sir. Thank you.